Today I want to show you how I went from a floor L sit that looked like this to one that looked like this after 68 days of training. I love challenging myself with new fitness goals. I find it keeps my training and workouts fresh and gives me that extra push of motivation to work as hard as I can when I have a clear goal in sight. While I have had success with some of these goals, especially in the areas of building muscle and losing fat, whenever I've challenged myself with a calisthenic or functional strength training goal, my results haven't been what I was hoping for. So I decided I should give myself a fresh start with a beginner calisthenic hold and decided on trying to learn the floor L-sit, an exercise that targets your core, hip flexors, and push strength. My goal is to be able to hold the floor L-sit with my legs straight for a total of 10 seconds. But as I found out the hard way on day one, just because the L-sit is classified as a beginner hold doesn't mean learning it is going to be easy. I was barely even lifting myself off the ground when I tried the first time, and all my anxieties of past failures came flooding back to memory. But when I tried again, this time using my push-up grips, I did a lot better, but still knew I had a long way to go. So after doing a little research, I decided on a 4-exercise routine to practice each stage of the L-sit. That began simply with practicing pushing my body off the floor without the support of the grips. Then I worked my hip flexors with single leg raises where I push my hands down into the mat while elevating one foot for 10 seconds and switching to the other leg. I also found it best to work on some hamstring mobility between these reps, but my hamstrings have been pretty tight for most of my life. After that, I used my push-up grips to practice the full hold and engage my core. Then I'll wrap up my training with a secondary abs exercise to continue building that internal strength. From here, it was a matter of carving out 25 minutes every second day to go through these exercises. Usually, I'd start in the evening so I could watch basketball while I did these workouts. And when the temperature got warmer, I moved some of my training outside to work on things like hanging leg raises, as it's one of my favorite core exercises, and it has the added benefit of targeting your anterior hip flexors at the same time. After a month of training, I felt like I had definitely improved, but maybe not as fast as I was hoping for. And as the days continued, I realized I was seeing improvement at a slower and slower pace, despite what I felt like were really challenging and demanding workouts. It got frustrating. So the past couple weeks, it has definitely felt like I have just hit a wall and plateaued with my progress. I feel like I saw a lot of quick gains really early, and I don't know if it's my hamstring mobility that's limiting me right now. I'm also noticing even though my arms are locked out, my butt is kind of coming and touching the ground, whether that just means I am too booty thick to do this exercise right. I'm pretty sure I'm not too booty thick, but that's part of my goal for this year, so I'm trying to manifest that for myself. Hashtag squad goals, hashtag booty is life.
Bro, what
anyway,
are you saying?
With my... While my brother may have laughed at my dreams, I was starting to believe my booty thick theory might be onto something. As when I tried the L-sit again, only this time using 2-inch textbooks, I significantly improved. And within another week, could perform this with full extension through my legs. But when I tried snapping my latest thirst trap in the studio, I realized it couldn't possibly be an exceptionally round peach that was holding me back. Not only were my booty thick dreams crushed before my eyes, I also had to face the fact that my problems were most likely stemming from a different aspect of my anatomy. Typically, your average person has a wingspan that is more or less equivalent to their height. However, my own wingspan comes in at just 5 foot 7 inches, which is 2 inches shorter than my height. And my torso is actually slightly longer than average, which means as hard as my stubby little T-Rex arms push, I am barely getting any separation from the ground. Which led me inevitably to conclude that my poor performance on the L-sit, like my male pattern baldness, is simply a result of my genetics, leading me to curse my parents for bringing me into existence and blur Simple Plan into my AirPods. Or I could just do some research into hamstring mobility, see if there's a faster way I could be improving, and that's ultimately what I ended up doing. And after about 20 minutes of Googling, I came across some articles on proceptive neuromuscular facilitation, or PNF stretching. To put it simply, PNF stretching is the process of stretching a muscle out, then contracting the muscle against resistance while it remains in a stretched position. To help me demonstrate one variation of this, Cam is going to pretend to be my mobility coach for the day. So, as my mobility coach, Cam is going to come and help stretch out my right hamstring until I feel some tension through the muscle. From here, I am just going to relax, try and breathe through my nose, And then for 10 seconds, I am going to contract my hamstring and try to push my leg down while he provides the resistance by holding my leg in place. We continue this for 3, 2, 1, and then I relax. And all of a sudden I have a couple more inches of range of motion, and we repeat the process again. While I may not be able to sub cam in at my home every day, I can use straps or resistance bands to achieve a similar effect, and I decided I could use whatever downtime I had as an opportunity to leave my hamstrings in a semi-stretched position. I also made the decision to stop doing oblique and upper ab training on my recovery days, instead opting to do a full core workout on the same day I'm doing L-sit training, so I have 2 days completely off to maximize recovery. So by the time I got to day 60, I felt like my body was rested and ready. I warmed up with some foam rolling followed by static stretching, then a little bit of single leg raises to warm my muscles up. Then, with 2 cameras set up and my brother there to keep the time, I decided to give it my best shot.
Hello? Amazing, yeah. I think you touched at 8.5 seconds.
Apparently my heel just tapped the floor at the 8-second mark, and when I tried again, I did so much worse. Deciding I wouldn't get it on day 60 and I should just continue with my workout and training, understanding I could try again a few days later. When I looked back at my failed attempt on day 60, I realized by doing the L-sit on the mat, my hands were actually sinking into the foam just a little bit, and I might give myself a better chance of success if I instead push straight up from the floor. So after another week of training, I leaned my phone against the TV so I could see the time, and gave it another shot. It took me 68 days to complete the floor L-sit. If I had waited 1 day longer to test myself, I could have had a funnier video title, but I'm overall really happy with how I progressed, especially through the 2nd month of training. I feel like my overall core strength has improved significantly with these exercises, which is something I am incredibly happy to see. If you'd like to get into calisthenics training for yourself, I want to shout out our friends over at the website Rubber Bandits. I've been working with their calisthenic bands and rings for over a year now, and while you don't need any equipment to learn the floor L-sit, I'm still currently using their band assists as I'm working on learning the clean muscle up, and I use their gymnastic rings 4 to 5 times a week to target things like chest and tricep, back and bicep workouts. There is just so much variety you can get out of these. I love working with the rings, and I am still trying to talk Cam into giving them a shot. So I have genuinely gotten tremendous value from their equipment, and if you use the code GOALGUYS at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order, and you'll help us keep making these videos. Let me know if there are other calisthenic goals you think I should start working towards next, and I wish you the best of luck if you want to try learning the floor L-sit for yourself. Thank you so much for watching.